Cubs issue a little payback to the Dodgers. Yeah, beat them in L.A. and then swept them in a little short series in Wrigley. Payback from Japan. Two guys, though, that the Cubs would really like to get extended. They have to. And I'm going to talk about why. Kyle Tucker and Hollywood Pete Crow-Armstrong. You guys are seeing it. I told you. Took a little while, but you're seeing the guy that I told you was on the way. We're going to get into that. Seiya Suzuki scratched from the lineup. Cubs bring back Michael Fulmer, and a preview of a Cade Horton video that I'm going to put out probably here in the next few days. All that right here on the Cubs baseball channel. So like, subscribe, thumbs up. Cardinals fans, just go away. You don't want to see what we're doing right now. Dodgers fans, I saw you guys at Wrigley marching down the street, doing your thing in Wrigleyville. March your ass right back to L.A. Let's go. Thanks, everybody. Mick Gillespie, Cubs baseball channel. Not only have I covered the Cubs for, 20 years now, something like that. Hey, I am a fan, and I've been a fan since the 80s, and I'm glad that you guys are here hanging out. So like and subscribe. It's not just a job. It's not just a channel. It is a passion. And when the Cubs are playing like this, I'm in a good mood, okay? All the teams that I like, the Cubs are my favorite team of all the teams. So let's talk about it right here on the Cubs baseball channel. Look, guys, first off, payback from Japan. I loved it. Both of these wins over the Dodgers were great because they thought they were going to win, and then all of a sudden, here comes these hard-hitting Cubs from behind. You can't keep them down. The lineup is tough, and they're just beat up on the Dodgers pitching. I like what I'm seeing from this team. They're mean, and they're tough, and you knock them down, and they get right back up. These were two really spectacular wins, two of the best wins of the season, and send those Dodgers out of town. And the fact that I saw the video of all the Dodgers fans marching down the street and chanting everything, Pete Crow-Armstrong's got better numbers than Shohei Ohtani. Think about that for $1 billion. All right, let me start with this, though. Kyle Tucker, King Tuck, right? He is going to be a high sought-after free agent. A lot of teams are going to line up to get him. But the Cubs and Jed Hoyer are making it pretty apparent that they're going to try to sign him. And there's rumors that they're going to try to extend him right now. And look, if you're Tucker, why not do it? I mean, that you're seeing that happen around baseball. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is that guy that's like, give you a great example of the fact that, you know what, that's where we are right now. It used to be that these agents would tell these guys not to do it. Those days are over, man. If you can get the contract, take the money. He's a great fit for Chicago. Jed Hoyer called him one of the best players in baseball, period. We hope that that's what we were getting when he made the deal to get him, and he's been exactly that. The Cubs gave up a lot to get him, but he's providing right now a lot in return. Jed Hoyer was asked about it. He said, obviously, we'd like to keep Kyle long-term. Who wouldn't want a player like that? I would keep any conversations we're having internal. It's hard to negotiate in season. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. He's really fun to watch, huge impact player that any team would want. And, basically, just talking about that you'd love to keep him. And that's exactly what they made this deal for. They gave up way too much not to sign this guy. And it's different than Bellinger. I mean, the way that this guy hits, it's like it's elite level stuff. Okay. He hits all the pitching, and he's a tough out in the lineup. He's the guy. This is like having Andre Dawson in '87. I mean, like, this guy's coming. You can't pitch around him. He's so good. Not many weaknesses in his game. And look, Cam Smith's a rookie. You gave up a first-round pick. The guy's going to be really good, and you can tell. I know he's struggling a little bit. He's going to figure it out. You gave up Isaac Paredes. You gave up Hayden Wisniewski. Okay, I don't care about that. The players that you gave up to get Paredes, some of those guys are good. You sign this guy long term, and you wipe that slate clean because you give yourself a star player that is a star player, right? I mean, all the variables, you throw out all the stuff from the analytics, and I'm not always a big fan of the analytics, but sometimes I am. And this guy checks all those boxes. Besides that, the Cubs have money to spend. This guy's going to be worth it. You know that he's making $16.5 million this year. He's going to make 40. They're going to have to pay him a lot of money. But you know what? Do it. Do it. Get this guy signed in the lineup. Keep him there every day. The Astros didn't make all those playoffs because they didn't have bad players. This guy was their best player, and he looks like a future Hall of Famer to me. I mean, and you got to have those building blocks if you want to win. I talked about it before. The teams that win have those generational players. This is one. Now, who knows how this is going to work out negotiations-wise? Does he want to take it? You don't know. But I like the fact that I'm hearing the Cubs talk about what they're going to do here, and you know that they're trying to make something happen, and that's what the reports are saying. Now, the second thing I wanted to get into was this guy. You guys ripped me. You ripped me in 2023 because I told you Hollywood Pete was coming. You did. You hit me hard. I remember reading all those in comments and hey, this guy stinks. He's 0 for 14. He's missing fly balls, Last year, started off slow. Hit that home run against the Astros last year, and I said, hey, but what you're seeing now is what I thought was going to be this guy's career. He's got a chance to be one of the best players in baseball. Who knows what's going to happen? But watch this guy play, and watching him in that Cubs uniform every day is fantastic. And if I'm the Mets, I'm asking myself, why didn't we give up the guys that can't play that good? We gave up a legitimate star. Maybe it's just he likes to beat up on the Dodgers. But I'll tell you what, his hands, he's got really quick hands. He's stronger than you think. He can run, that. He can play the defense, but he's driving in runs now, and he's just a pain in everyone's side. And I love it. Love watching him play. He's the most exciting player on the team. So are the Cubs going to try to extend Hollywood Pete? Our friend Patrick Mooney says that, that basically Pete Crow-Armstrong and the Cubs have ceased negotiations for now. So it doesn't look like it's going to happen. That basically they were talking about maybe $75 million. He is still unproven, but, he gives you that Javi Baez vibe. And the Cubs have a chance right now to sign this guy, one of the best defenders in baseball, someone that you can count on. And who knows what the ceiling is for Pete Crow-Armstrong. We've seen the floor, but now all of a sudden you're starting to see the fact that the guy can absolutely rake, and he is a very, very special player. So if I'm the Cubs, I'd love to just extend him now, kind of like what they did with Jackson Merrill over in San Diego. Corbin Carroll with the Diamondbacks, I think he got one too. You sign him now, and you hope you get a Rizzo situation where you pay him a good amount of money, but not as much as that he'll make if he lives up to whatever it is he's doing. As a team, you pay him now so that you don't have to pay him as much later. You're taking a risk, or it could turn out like David Bodie, where you pay him way too much, and then, obviously it didn't really pan out. But you don't want another Jason Hayward, Dansby Swanson situation where you way, way overpay and these guys are under delivering. And I hope that Dansby starts to get that bat turned around, but it feels like that deal wasn't a great deal. I feel like Tucker and Pete Crow-Armstrong are two guys that are going to be around for a while. And if I was the Cubs if I was them, looking at this roster long term, I'd go ahead and make something happen right now because these two guys being in a Cubs uniform for a long time would make me happy. Some of you guys are wondering what happened with Seiya Suzuki. He has been hitting the ball. He's been a really good hitter this year. I like him as the DH. He was scratched from the lineup, and according to John Morosi, it was with right wrist soreness. So that's what happened to him. Every year it seems like he deals with injuries. That's been the one setback that we've had to deal with him, but it's part of the game. I don't know how serious it is. Obviously, it kept him out of the lineup, and and you wonder if this is something that's going to affect the Cubs down the road or not. And now the final thing is this on the show today. Now I'm going to have. I didn't want to throw it on this episode, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, the next show that I do about a player coming, where I'm telling you that this guy's coming, and I want you to pay attention to me. I've already talked about this guy a lot, but I'm going to tell you again right now. It's Cade Horton. He's coming. I'm telling you he's coming. Now everybody else is saying, hey, wait a second, this guy's good. I've been telling you this for 2 years. He is coming. It's all about staying healthy. This is prior. This is Wood type stuff. Just remember me telling you this. Just like I told you about Crow-Armstrong, I've said this about Cade Horton. He's lighting it up in Iowa, and the Cubs need him in the rotation in the big leagues. And like pitchers, you don't know how their arm's going to hold up and all that stuff. This guy's really good, and he's coming. And I'm going to leave it right there, and then we'll talk about that on another show. Now the Cubs are bringing back Michael Fulmer. They're doing everything they can to try to find pitching right now, and I don't blame them because they need the help. But once one of their bullpen aces, I would say, now a guy who is trying to find a job, and the Cubs have signed him. He is going to be with the Iowa Cubs, and basically they hope that he'll be able to kind of find himself a little bit. And the Cubs are doing their best to just try to get these type of guys that have talent that maybe they can figure it out again and make something happen, right? He was with the Boston Red Sox, and and then they took him off the roster, and now the Cubs have him. He was designated for assignment on April 18th, and when he was, I thought to myself, like, maybe this is one of those things where you look at it and you go, you know what, the Cubs might try to bring him back and see if they can get him right again, right? Played with the Cubs in 23 and ended up with a 4.42 ERA. And had 65 strikeouts and a 3-5 record in those 57 innings. So anyway, something to keep an eye on. They're out there. They're trying to make things happen. The sense of urgency with this front office is great. I mean, it just is. And I'll tell you this, maybe you sign these front offices to a 1-year deal every year. Because these guys are working overtime to try to make things happen this year, and it's good. It's good because you can feel it coming, man. Every day they're doing their best to go out there and find that Drew Pomeranz trade. It was a good trade, right? This is another one. Like if these guys, a lot of times pitchers figure it out, and you see it all the time. Hey, struggled here, go here. These guys say, hey, maybe throw a little bit more sliders and fastballs, maybe pitch backwards, maybe do this or that, pitch lab stuff, all that stuff matters. Sometimes it's just rest and getting comfortable again. Anyway, that's where we are right now. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Cubs baseball channel. Exciting times. The Cubs taking advantage of a win, and then obviously taking another off day. They won't be back in action until the Phillies come in town on Friday. That's a day game, and trying to think. We'll pop on before that, but just so that you guys know, Taijuan Walker is going to make the start for the Phillies. He's a guy I remember him coming up. Very good pitcher, 1-1 record and a 2.29 ERA. And Colin Ray going for the Cubs. Now that he's in the rotation, this was one of the reasons they signed depth. No record with a 1.32 ERA. Also, keep an eye on the teams that fall out of the race, because I think the Cubs are going to be really aggressive if they think they can get a starter that could make a difference. So I'm talking about you guys in Minnesota. I'm talking about you guys down in Miami. Look around at some of these teams, and if they fall out of it and they're willing to make a move, I think the Cubs are going to be willing to make a move right back and at it. Now, and I want to say this. I'm going to say this right now. If Seiya Suzuki goes on the IL, look for Moises Ballesteros to be the guy that replaces him. All right, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll do it again tomorrow. But what a great win, especially with all those Dodgers people marching through Wrigleyville like they were on a parade. Parade out of here, man. You guys stink all of a sudden. Go Cubs.